Metropolis. The cops got their hands full today. Metro police got the gunmen pinned down, but they got hostages. Lives are at risk and the police are still waiting for a negotiator or special crimes unit to arrive. But inside the building, 4 heavily armed gunmen are ready to go to war with the law. The light goes off and the house of El Sigil is all they see before everything went black. Moments later, Luther emerges from the building with the unconscious gunmen. Everything is under control, Luther informs the police. Upstate, Clark and his family are just starting to settle into their new home when the TV comes on. Lex Luthor has announced that their Superman is dead, but Metropolis will still have a protector, because Lex Luthor will be their Superman. Clark did not think twice. He leaps into action and dons a classic red and blue. With the sun cheering him on, Clark flies off to the city because Metropolis needs a real Superman. Metropolis. Luthor continues his announcement to the world that he will be replacing the Man of Steel. But suddenly, the real Steel arrives. Luthor is in disbelief. Superman is dead. This Superman appears older, wiser, and more confident. Clark demands for the return of the red cape and the removal of his house sigil from Luthor's armor, but the Billionaire smirks at his foe. Well, Clark will remove it for him. The armor's defense is activated and sends an enormous jolt of energy into the body of Clark. He has been provoked, so Clark attacks the Billionaire while his wife and son watches the action from home. Meanwhile, on the streets below, Jimmy Olsen observes the fight of the day between 2 men who claims to be Superman. But then a man resembling his pal, Clark, marches by stating that he is the real deal. This amuses Luthor even further. 2 men claiming to be a dead man. Above the battle between supers, a few gunmen escape with their prize, but the coffin begins to rattle. It explodes with whatever it is inside raging towards the street. Luthor halts his attack on the Man of Steel and Clark Kent is in disbelief. This cannot be. Doomsday has returned! What's going on, guys? Welcome to Comic Island. My name is Joey, and today we are reviewing and recapping Action Comics issue 957. So the first issue of Action Comics after Rebirth returns to its original numbering system. That's cool. But with a hint of nostalgia be good enough to get it a thumbs up? That would be a definitive yes. This issue was as good as I hoped it would be, and a bit more. So let's go over a few things that really worked for me. Clark Kent is still trying to find his way in this new world, but everything is slightly off. We know how much of a villain his Lex Luthor is, but this Lex Luthor is a bit different. As mentioned in my previous reviews, Luthor has been somewhat of an anti-hero ever since Forever Evil. He hasn't done anything to prove to us that he is still a villain, and if you watch my review of the Justice League issue 52, then you will know that this new 52 Lex Luthor is actually trying to do right. Even Clark couldn't dig up any dirt on Luthor. Luthor probably kills less people than the Punisher and the Red Hood. For example, this scene where he takes out the gunman. Put either Red Hood or the Punisher in Luthor's place, and we will see dead bodies everywhere. Sure, we can argue that Luthor is using his unconscious gunman to further his goal of becoming a new Superman. But his intentions of being a quote-unquote hero are legit, but that's not how Superman sees it. I love this little scene where we see Clark shave his beard with a piece of glass. It's a nice little homage to the question, how does Superman shave? This also serves a moment that pre-New 52 Superman lost his beard. Up until then, we got a dead New 52 Superman with armor, and the pre-New 52 Superman with a beard and sporting a black bodysuit. But now he got rid of his beard and he got back the original suit minus the red undies. This issue also marks the first meeting between these two. But I love this little twist where we see another guy claiming to be Clark Kent. He doesn't exhibit any form of Kryptonian power, so a clone maybe? There's a bit of a great twist story with this Clark being here, but then we got thrown for another curveball as the final page shows us the Return of Doomsday. One of my very first Superman story arcs I've ever read was the death of Superman, and this image of Doomsday with the green suit with one hand tied behind his back is pure awesome. This is the only guy that can say he truly defeated Superman. This Doomsday doesn't have his hands tied, but hey, that's okay. At least we didn't get Super Doom again. Now, if DC found a way to reintroduce Superboy Prime, I would die happy. Okay, so we covered everything including the awesome cliffhanger, but we haven't mentioned this mysterious man. From DC Rebirth one-shot, we found out that this name is Mr. Oz, who I believe is actually Ozymandias from the Watchmen franchise. Somehow, Mr. Oz is able to watch everything, including Lois and John. We assume he knows about Doomsday, and my guess is that he orchestrated the release of Doomsday. DC is building up a big reveal for Mr. Oz that could shake up the internet, so I'm very excited for that. But these are just my opinion. What do you think about Action Comics issue 957? Please let me know in the comments below. Action Comics issue 958 is already out, so I'll get that uploaded as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time in another Comic Island video.